Welcome to the show. You do a great job.
Yep.
David, tell me what Foodbank's all about. For those people who've never heard of you, and I think that would be very hard, what do you guys do?
Well, Foodbank, it's a charity. It's a big charity, and what we do is we take food that's no longer required, or maybe it's unsellable or surplus food from manufacturers and from retailers, and we take that food and we make it available to all the other charities so that they can distribute it to families in need.
Now, I know I looked at your website and a lot of people might say, oh, wow, I need food. You can't be an individual and come to you. They have to go through charitable organisations. So someone like the Salvation Army, for example, might register with you to become a charitable organisation that can get food. Then people go to the Salvation Army and they would get their food through them. Is that how it would work?
You should do my job.
I tell you what, I did exactly my research.
Right. Basically, there's about 1,200 different organisations in WA. There's schools, community groups, other charities, and they come to our different food banks. We've got one in Perth and we've got 5 across regional WA, and they get the food and then they distribute it to, whether it's for homeless people or for families or for seniors, they get that food out to those people.
What a wonderful idea. I think years ago, Coles and Woolworths and all these big supermarkets used to throw away a lot of their leftover food. Even if it only had a couple of days left on it, there's always someone that could benefit from that food. Why throw it away when Foodbank would love it?
The food that you're talking about is effectively food that historically did go to waste. I think when we started in 1994, there was about 500,000 kilos of food being wasted in Perth every year. Now we rescue more than 2.3 million kilos of food. And so that's equivalent of 4 million meals that we then redistribute into the community every year.
Now, your company or your organisation is national as well. I noticed you've got them in every state. WA runs on its own here, but you've got, for charities, it's everywhere in Australia that people can get involved?
Correct. Foodbank Australia, it's actually, we're sort of, I guess, a body of different organisations around Australia. But it's the biggest hunger relief agency in Australia. So it's the I guess, Australia's largest dedicated organisation for easing hunger in the community.
How important, David, do you see it in our society today? There's a lot more homeless people, there's a lot more poorer people, I would say. Do you see your role as being more important today than a few years ago?
You know, in a perfect world, we would be that charity that is almost headed for extinction, but there's actually more and more people that need help. Interestingly, though, the people that we help most are people who have incomes. They could be single-parent families.
That's what I mean.
Or
it's
people
moved.
that have
the line
jobs.
has moved, hasn't it?
So,
it's not just poor people out on the street.
Correct.
Family people that are just are struggling to pay their expenses, their bills. They've got children.
Yep.
And
the
you get a
easiest
lot of
thing
those
to cut
people.
is your food. You know, that's what these families do. You know, they pay their rent because they don't want to lose the roof over their head, and they pay the power bill because they need the electricity to run the fridge and to exist. So there's all those other essential expenses, and so often the first thing the easiest thing to cut is food. And then your health suffers. David,
how do people get involved with Foodbank if they want to help you, or maybe even give you donations, because you do take financial support as well?
Both. Foodbank's a very expensive charity to run. We have, just in WA alone, we have 5 warehouses. It's effectively...
You've got a few trucks as well.
We've got 10 trucks.
10 trucks.
We're like a commercial operation, really. So it costs a lot of money to run Foodbank. But whether it's food or money, the great thing about Foodbank is if you support Foodbank, the impact is very, very immediate. So if you gave us a can of food today, you know, that would be helping somebody tomorrow, in the same way that even money, with the way we operate, effectively for every $1 we can provide 2 meals.
Amazing.
So we're a very effective and very efficient organisation. So both food and financial donations are fantastic.
Now, Volunteer Week is just gone,
Yep.
but you guys are always looking for volunteers. What type of volunteers and how do they get involved?
Well, people can get involved in the sense how they want to. We have 160 volunteers around WA and they do literally everything from our board. Obviously that's a little bit different, but right down to people who help clean the warehouse, people that help sort food. We have people that do the accounts and help manage the inflow of food as well. So even our truck drivers are volunteers.
Amazing.
So there's lots of different roles that people can play at Foodbank.
It's great to know, David, that you guys are there and still there to support people and still doing it quite well, I would think. If people want to get involved with Foodbank, check out our website. It is thecouch.com.au. We do also have a Foodbank website, which is?
foodbankwa.org.au.
Beautiful, you remembered it off by heart.
Said it a few times.
Thank you very much to David Warren for being in today. Foodbank WA, please support Foodbank Australia as well if you're in the other states. Thank you for being on The Couch and good luck and success with Foodbank.
Thanks for having me, Fred.